All right, here we go. Part two. I'm gonna go as far as I can tonight before I need to get some rest because I'm on duty really, really early in the morning. All right, so part two. I've been in this house for 5 years. It's the longest I have ever been in one place my entire life. And that's crazy. It's triumphant and it's a great feeling, but it's also very sad that that's the most stability that I've ever had and that I've been able to even give to myself. I decided in 2019 that I needed to get far away from the life that I had, and I also needed to put a lot of distance between um, myself and the boyfriend that I was with that it almost killed me. And I still stayed with him. Um, we'll get there. We'll get there. There'll be a chapter about different things, and that'll be some other chapter. So let me go back to chapter number one, my father. And I'll just talk about a couple of defining moments. You know, we all have them as children. The moments that kind of define the rest of your life, define your relationship with yourself, with your family, the relationships you have in your home and with your family. It really affects the way you bond and connect with other people. And I was in my 30s before I actually learned and understood that. Please be kind and be compassionate with women who you think are just so stupid and make dumb decisions because you don't know what they know. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they've been taught. Okay. And as I say that, I remind myself because I still beat myself up about a lot of things that were not my fault. So me and my dad, I believe that my father has had some mental health issues that he has refused to face, get diagnosed, and to heal and treat. I really believe, looking back, now that I know what I know, that he struggled and he still struggles with a lot of demons. And I hear that over the past, couple of years, he's been a changed man since he's had a stroke and he's been a lot healthier and better. And that's great. If that's true, that's great. Either way it goes, please leave him alone. So, defining moments. One of my first defining moments for me, I don't even know if my parents even know this, that I even remember this, but we were living in Europe. My father was in the military. So this was before third grade. I'm going to guess maybe first or second, I guess. But it was before third grade because when we moved back to Jersey, I believe I was going into the third grade. I know the address. This was in Belgium, not Germany. I believe Belgium. A part of the address was Rue du Chateau. That's all I remember. The number, I don't know. And I think the base that we were living at, I believe it was Shape. So wherever that is. Vague memories. Oh, another memory. I remember that our home was next to a pasture with sheep, and I thought it was the coolest thing that I could go in my backyard. And there were sheep outside that would come right to the yard, and I could reach my hand through the gate and pet them. So anyway, we were in that particular house, whatever that address is, and my parents fought a lot. My whole entire life. It became normal, but it was still very disturbing, especially at night, for me to hear them fighting and arguing. And when I was much younger, I would get angry at my mother because I would think she's always screaming at my father. She's always screaming and cussing at him. And all he ever says is, "That's all you got," or, "Yeah, Michelle, keep going, keep going." And I thought she was being abusive to him, but it was actually the other way around. He was gaslighting her. He was gaslighting her. I came to discover later on. He would drive her crazy, and she was made to appear crazy by the man who drove her there. I wonder if they knew how many nights I heard them arguing and arguing. It was a regular thing, and it was very disturbing for me. It was normal, but there was something in my spirit that still said to me, "This ain't right, and I don't want this. I don't want to be married if that's what this is like." It was always this really big, that kind of like just dissonance inside of me about that. Um, so this particular day, I just remember me and my brothers, and the boys were both babies. I think one was a baby, one was a toddler. We were in the car. I know they were arguing and fighting through the house and downstairs, and at some point we were all in the car. I think it was a Volvo. And I don't think we were supposed to go with my dad. He would go and play like racquetball, things like that with his, at this time, he was very active with, I guess, guys in the gym when he wasn't, I guess, on duty in the military. And I just know that they were arguing, and I don't think I knew what they were arguing about at that time, but I've come to discover later on, kind of replaying the memories. They were arguing because my father would leave us with her all the time. Now, they got married when she was 18 or 19, and immediately he got, I guess, stationed overseas. So she's married as a kid, and now she is pulled away from her entire life, and she is isolated in Europe, just her and him, and having babies back to back to back. She lost a little girl, Deborah Michelle. Then she had me. Then she had my brother. Then she had my other brother. And she's by herself. And she used to say to me so much that she was a married single mother. I don't know if she will openly admit this now, but she said this to me, for decades, like all into my adult years as well. She was a married single mother. So they're arguing. Somehow me and my brothers are in the backseat of the car with him. And he is just, he is resentful. He is angry. I think she made him take us because the fight had something to do with basically like us always being with her and him never taking us. And I do remember a couple of times of, he would even joke to his friends, and I would have weird feelings about it, about how he would be mad because she would make him take us, and he would have to take us to, like, I know one time, I think we were in New Jersey, and he had said it like it's really funny to, I don't know who, I guess maybe some cousins, guy cousins, whatever. But I remember him saying it another time. Years later, we were in Jersey. I was in, I think, upper elementary school, and he was at what base? Monmouth. He was at Monmouth, Fort Monmouth then. And I remember him saying that whenever she would force him to take us with him as he went to go hang out, that he'd be so mad about it, like, here, y'all sit here and don't move. Like, and I do remember some of those experiences vaguely of us having to sit in the bleachers or sit somewhere and don't move while he plays with his friends. Or I know there was one place we used to go to, and I wish I could remember more about it. I just know that there was a basketball court, and then there was like a little jungle gym kid play part that was kind of close to it. So we'd be playing there while he'd be playing basketball. But I do recall my father's attitude about having to actually be a father. It was always this feeling of resentment of, like, this is so inconvenient. My mother primarily raised us. Okay, so let's go back to, we were at Rue du Chateau. We got in the back seat. We were somehow in the back seat of the car. And as he was backing out of the driveway, I remember my mother. It's funny, but it's also really jacked up. She came running out of the house as he's backing away. They're still arguing. They were arguing. She came out the side just fiery and feisty, and they're still fussing. She went back in the house, so you think it's over. As he's backing out of the driveway of the house, she comes running out the house, door flying open, and she's got this big old pitcher of Kool-Aid, red Kool-Aid. I will never forget this. And just, whoa, she threw it at the car. And then he's got this satisfied look on his face, because a lot of degenerate males, they love driving you crazy. They love getting you riled up. I don't understand it, but it's like a satisfaction. I remember him laughing and putting the not the blinkers, what are those, the windshield wipers on, and just wiping it away. And I also remember him laughing about this story and retelling it for years as if it's something to be proud of. And here's another thing a lot of guys will do. They'll tell these stories and they'll talk about how crazy you are and make you look real crazy. But the other part that people don't get to hear and understand is that she was made to appear crazy by the one who drove her there. Women don't just all of a sudden snap. A lot don't for no reason. So that was one of my first defining moments when it comes to my relationship, how I relate to my father, what I know about him and his personality. Okay, wow, 9 minutes, just like that. That was quick. All right, let me cut this off and start number 3. I got some time.